Hello, everybody. Sorry, I forgot my drink. Just a moment. Do cherry slush. Well, welcome in, everybody, on this Saturday, right? It's Saturday. I hope it's Saturday. That's what I've been saying all day. So, fingers crossed on that one, right? All right. Well, welcome in. Welcome in, everybody. Hello. I have been over on the tube a lot lately, and will continue to be over on the tube. But I do like to come in here as well and hang out with everyone. So let me make sure my lighting is okay because I've got a new. There we go. Oh, did we make it? No. There we go. All right, we made it. I'm trying to get used to it, everybody. All right, here we are. Hello. Welcome in. Welcome, everyone. Hello. Saturday afternoon, right? That's a fun time. That's a very fun time for learning, right? Well, right. Manda, hello. Oh my gosh, Manda, what are we gonna do? Last night I was like, I'm gonna get my banana bread. And then when I got back, I was like, where'd I go? I was confused. So then I was like, oh dear. I hope I didn't get you into too much trouble, Manda. I would hate to do that. We're in the bad place. Oh my gosh. Oh, I know. Egads, everybody. We'll make it through though, right? Because we just keep moving forward, then, we'll make it to the other side. I got flagged. Okay. I figured something had happened. I just wasn't sure. And then I felt bad. I'm like, next time, get the banana bread out first and then go join the live. But alas, oh my gosh, it was good, Manda. It was good. It had chocolate chips in it. So everybody was pleased. We got to go back. We got to go back into the Depression era and use up what we've got, right? Hello, Dale. Hello. Hi, Kaya. Hello. Welcome in, everyone. This is kind of like I had a little bit of time this afternoon. And, Kristen, always good to see you. Right. I'm not going to make the apple pie, though, that's made out of saltines. Many of you may be familiar with that. That's just not going to work for me. But, thank you. Thanks, everyone, for the gifts. I appreciate that. Hi, Kimber. Hello. Welcome. It seems to be kind of working out relatively well for me to do the TikTok lives kind of midday here and then do the evening ones. Oh, hello, Phil. Thanks so much. And do the evening ones over on the tube. But we'll keep going. Yeah, exactly, VC. Well, we turn it into pancakes. So we just put butter on the slices and then we put syrup on it. So it's basically like a quick French toast pancake situation. So, right. He speaks well. All right. We've got a lot of things going. I know, right, VC? Oh my gosh. Seriously, one of my foods that I have to be very careful about are donuts. Happy Saturday to you too. I don't know what's happened. Hi, Jennifer. But if I get like a dozen donuts, and I think it goes back to when I worked at Donut Land when I was 14. So I think that's where it's coming from. But, the whole fam's like, oh, you brought donuts. And I'm like, no, I'm not sure what you guys are going to eat. These are all for me. So, hi, Katie. Hello. Welcome. Oh my gosh, homemade icing. Oh my goodness. Put butter and really, yeah, I like it. We got to find ways to be happy, right? So today, I'm glad you asked. Today, everyone, we're going to go through yes, I do love mayonnaise. We're going to go through executive orders. So I did a post just a little bit ago, kind of explaining how our executive orders work. But then I thought, what might be helpful is if we just flip through. So it's going to kind of be a fast version here to see what's been written, because a lot of the executive orders here are bonkers. Krispy Kreme, right, can get out of ginger real quickly. Yes. Right. I agree. Oh, yeah, the classic glaze. I don't know. I mean, it's quick and dirty, Kristen. You know that's true. I could go either way. I do like a nice Boston cream. I also appreciate a nice jelly donut. I'm not a big fan of the like white frosting in the donut. That's a bit too much for me, but I do like a nice Boston cream in there. So we adore that. But today, everyone, thanks for coming and hanging out with me. I wanted to, again, kind of give everybody an overview of these executive orders. There have been so many questions about these executive orders, and they're used in all of our cases, right? We're over 500 cases now against the administration. None of them are pro se. I like to include that because there's nothing wrong with being pro se, but on these levels of cases with these questions, it's, I think, better to have a full attorney involved to make sure it gets through the system. So if I set that out, it's not because you can't go pro se, you certainly can, but these are, as I said, they're just easier to kind of get through the process if an attorney already knows kind of what the process is here. So hello, Dr. Keisha. Hello, good to see you. Good to see you. So I thought we would just flip through these and see what we got going on here. And then kind of do a little chat about it. So let's start at relatively the beginning here. Hello, Hopeful, welcome. These are supposed to be organized, but they may not be. They're not that organized, so forgive me on that. Hello, Gemini. Hello. Hi, Chaos. Chaos. Love it. So let's take a peek here. This is the one that I had been working on some lives recently. Hi, Willie B. I really am glad to see you as well. He who is his or own. Right. Oh my gosh, yeah, we say that a lot, Dre. Oh my gosh, a little dragon. Oh, that's adorable. Last night, everyone, I have to again say, thank you for all of the pantless gingerbread men. I'm still struggling with it. I may not use that one in the future, but then Dolphin came in and did a huge gift, and the gingerbread man had pants on, and I felt like that just took away all of my angst and worry. So, all right, Dino Angel, I know, adorable, right? They are really cute. Right. I did. I'm so thankful, everybody. Truly. Because this toner, yikes, that's kind of gone up. Chaos is life. Oh my gosh, with 4, absolutely. You're doing amazing work. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's jump in. I'm not going to sticky note these because I'm really just going to hit the front page of these. So I want to make sure my front page is down far enough to be able to see the executive order number here. So if I need to push it up or move it around, hello, John, good to see you. Please let me know. That would be appreciated. So the first thing is with executive orders that everybody, you really need to remember, executive orders are not law. The president cannot make law. That is not the president's job. All legislation needs to go through Congress, and that's just set out in Article 1 very clearly. I think it's actually the first line. Here we go. Let's just to give you an idea here of what we're dealing with. Ooh, brighter. Is it too dark on there, Kristen? Let me know. It's in a shadow. All right. Well, hold on here. Hold on. We'll reassess in a second. Okay. So here we go, real quick, and then I'll adjust the light. It says Article 1. All legislative powers herein granted shall be vested in a Congress of the United States, which shall consist of Senate and House of Representatives. So all legislative powers, that means the president cannot make a law. That's just simply what it means there. All right, let's see if we can get better, everybody. Here we go. No, let's see. Here we go. This way. How's that? Is this better? Better. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Let me see. Maybe I just had it on something too warm. Okay, and that's all. Oh, this is good. Okay, great. Is this one okay, everybody? I want to just make sure everyone can see it. And I'll probably move the papers around just a little bit to make sure that the chat has room to talk here. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Is it Svizzle? Like Bo Svizzle? So fun. I love it. In my humble opinion, we don't use enough Z's in our language. Okay, looks great, looks great. All right, excellent. So here we go. We're gonna just dive in. Of course, moderators, if we've got trouble, let me know and we can kind of clean things up a little bit. There have been a lot of trolls around. So, Executive Order 14341. Also, with these executive orders, I'm only going through the ones that have been put into the Federal Register. If it's not been put in the Federal Register, I'm not going to go through it. Hi, Kate. Hello. The mixologist. Hi. Welcome. Welcome. Right. Which one's better? A, B. 1, 2. Oh, my goodness gracious. Yes. So this came out August 25th, and this was prosecuting burning of the American flag. So the first section, each of these orders are set out exactly the same. The first section is the purpose. And so they go through and explain why they want to do this, right? So down here, I think is the best quote. Notwithstanding the Supreme Court's ruling on the First Amendment protections, the court has never held that American flag desecration conducted in a manner that is likely to incite imminent lawless action or that is an action amounting to fighting words. Fighting words. I think that's Chaplinsky, the fighting words doctrine, is constitutionally protected. And they're quoting Texas v. Johnson here. So what happens over and over again in these executive orders, everyone, is that it's like all of this, raining down of Armageddon, and then they come in and say, well, so long as it doesn't violate the law. So that basically means this is not worth a lot. There's no creating a law here. There's no big difference from yesterday than today. So, but what he does do is he comes into section 2, right? So up here he's like, Biden made the world and we don't like that. So they come in and say, well, what are we going to do? And what they're doing, and one of the things that's difficult in court, is he's just setting out what I want the other people to do, right? So the AG will prioritize the enforcement to the fullest extent possible of our nation's criminal and civil laws against the acts of American flag desecration. Like, duh, right? He's basically saying we need to prosecute people who are desecrating the flag, which is a criminal situation. I am Cosmo. By the way, Cosmo, don't think I didn't read your AB comment. I did, sir, and I am not impressed. Moving on. So this piece of it, again, is just, well, the AG needs to come in here and do it, right? And the one thing, though, that is interesting is that they'll say flag desecration that violate applicable content-neutral laws while causing harm unrelated to expression consistent with the First Amendment. So if you come out and no, Cosmo, no. So if you come out and say, well, this is my First Amendment, as long as you're in a proper place to set something on fire, then this won't apply. And they wrote it that way. So, right, now we come down here and it says any desecration that violates an applicable state or local law, which is really where our violations are going to come from, right? So if you're burning it in a place that you're not allowed to burn it, like out in public or, I don't know, at a school, they're going to say, well, the local law is applicable. So this isn't even a federal offense. Just because a U.S. flag's involved doesn't mean we're looking at a federal offense. And if it's not a federal offense, if it's just state or local because of the place and because, you weren't paying attention to being careful, then they're like, well, we'll talk to the state and tell them they need to prosecute it, which I think is great. They're like, the feds are going to tell the states how to prosecute the cases, right? So anyway, the only other piece I think that's significant in this particular one It is defiant. It is. It is absolutely. It does. Freedom of speech, exactly right. Exactly right. And we've had a case, the biggest case, and they don't even mention it. Oh, no, here it is. I was like, where's it at? Texas v. Johnson. And I believe this was the case where no, that can't be right. Is it right? I can't remember. Oh my goodness, everyone, I'm losing it. There was a case where this had to be it, right? 89, that's Ronald Reagan, isn't it? So this fella wasn't very happy about what was going on at the Republican convention that year. So what they did was they were across the street and to protest what was going on for the oh, I don't know about all that, but when they were protesting, they burned a flag. So he was arrested and went all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court. And they set out that, this kind of protest, so long as it's not, screwing over local law, is fine. And it's actually one of the key elements of being an American is being able to go and say to your government, we don't like you. Just follow the rules on where you're burning stuff. So that's all right. We also have where a flag is a diaper in a courtroom. There have been a lot of problems with this. I mean, I remember Will Ferrell coming in a Speedo, right? I mean, there have been a lot of questionable moments, but overall, it stood firm. So again, this executive order is just saying, we're going to prosecute cases to the fullest extent of the law, which they should have been doing anyway. So none of this is new. None of this is, law. They're just saying, you need to make sure you practice the law how it's supposed to be done. All right. Next, we have, did I print the fact sheet? I must have. But next we have 14338. If anyone wants to screenshot this, I'll try to make sure all the pieces are in here. Happy Saturday. Good to see you. Now, Toodle. Here we go. Improving our nation through better design. This was in August also. I'm not a computer person. I rely on others who are computer people that are amazing. This whole piece here, he's establishing in this, I'm announcing America by Design, a national initiative to improve experience for Americans, starting by breathing new life into the design of sites where people interface with their government. So this whole process is like updating the computer stuff, all right? And it is time to update the government's design language, now again, computer stuff, to be both usable and beautiful. I don't know how that's going to work. This effort will be facilitated by a new National Design Studio here and by a new Chief Design Officer. So that's really the crux of this, is putting this group together to look at how it's already working and then have a person in charge of that group, right? Why would it need to be an executive order? Great question, right? And again, I think we're seeing so many executive orders as a way of kind of backing up what they're already saying. Another scam, new money funnel. That's really interesting. Hold up here. Who said just creating a new money funnel? Papa talk. That's my new favorite phrase. Yes, money funnel. Gotta write that down. Hold on a second, everybody. Oh my gosh, that's cracking me up. All right, hold on. Here we go. Money funnel. Money funnel. All right, I gotta put it to the side. I'm gonna laugh too much. Funny. I thought Doge was gonna do that. Yeah, well, we had a lot of things that Doge was gonna do, but alas, it did not come to fruition. All right, so again, I don't understand any of this stuff other than, we're down here, other than that there's going to be like a group now and somebody in charge of that group looking at that, updating, federal websites and such, right? Minnesota has a money funnel. I'm not sure. mentally picture those old penny. Oh, right. The team that did this before was the Department of, really was turned into. Okay, all right, that's interesting. Hi, Big Grandma. That makes sense as well. So interesting, but what effect is this going to have? Don't know. We do have lawsuits that have been filed by several different nonprofits where the information on government websites is incorrect, right? Hashtag C19 situation with the Kennedy fella, but where the information is wrong. And I think we've won one case that had to do with environmental stuff, but the other cases are still rolling here. So gives more to the, really, that's interesting. That's interesting. All right, so next one. Is this one harmful? Too early to know. So that's how that one's going to be. Now, this one is just fascinating to me, everybody, because I'm a dork, and that's why. Is the Supreme Court hearing birthright citizenship? Great question. Unknown. Unknown. I have to say, real quick, just my thoughts on the birthright citizenship. In order for the court to hear the case, you have to have a number of justices. The fact that there were enough justices to say we want to hear the case is worrisome. It really is. It really is difficult. So I can't believe it's even a topic. I agree. And I can't imagine how frustrated the three lady justices are. Now, I'm not saying that Justice Barrett's not a woman, but she's on the conservative piece. So it's very frustrating. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I've kind of put it in a box and put it to the side. But the fact that they are taking it, yeah, is worrisome. Worrisome. What about the 14th? That's exactly it. We're going to overturn 100 years of precedent. That's a good question. And then, though, everyone, remember, of course, we have codified that piece of the Constitution. We actually have federal code that says if you're born here, you're a citizen. So this is not like the Roe situation or the immunity situation. Like the immunity hadn't determined anything based off of for criminal immunity. They only had civil, so they took the case and jacked it all over the place. But now with birthright citizenship, we do have cases. We do have a codified piece of federal law. So it's weird. It's really weird. Aren't spaghetti? Right, I know, right? Isn't that weird? It's scary what they might do. I agree. Although I doubt they'll touch it until after. It'll probably be late spring. It could very well be one of the last pieces that they go forward on. No decision. Yeah, no decision yet. All right, so next we've got ending the weaponization of the federal government. And if I could laugh, I would laugh because this is stuff that they're doing right now. They came in, here's your purpose, and it says, the American people have witnessed the previous administration engage in a systematic campaign against its perceived political opponents, weaponizing the legal force of numerous federal law enforcement agencies and the intelligence community against those perceived political opponents in the form of investigations, prosecutions, civil enforcement actions, and other related actions. Is anyone here doing this right now? Right? Oh my gosh, Chris, no, Chris, don't even put that out there. No. So, right, this is exactly what they're doing. This is like their roadmap on how they're treating people, right? Because we've got Letitia James again. Another grand jury was like, forget about it. And it looks like there's another attorney trying to come after her as well. So this is being done. Next, these actions appear oriented more toward inflicting political pain than towards pursuing actual justice or legitimate governmental objections. Many of these activities appear to be inconsistent with the Constitution and or the laws of the United States, including those activities directed at parents protesting at school board meetings, Americans who spoke out against the previous administration's actions, and other Americans who were simply exercising constitutionally protected rights. So this is ridiculous, right? He has violated this. This has been violated by the current orange person. That raises the question of, well, what do you do when the president violates his own executive order? That's a good question. If he writes the order himself and then he's violating it, it means the credibility or sustainability of this order is not great. Would he be somehow charged with something? I doubt it. I'm not sure what even that would look like if you went to the president and said, hey, you're violating your own executive order. I think it would be amazing to discuss. This is a great piece to keep reminding the American people that if he can violate his executive orders, then, what's stopping anyone else? Right? So this is really interesting how he's really twisted this into what his plan is. Oh, yes, I do appreciate it so much, everybody. Truly, I do appreciate the gifts and everything. That's comfort. It is. It's very common. All right, and then we've got policy here. So it's a policy of the U.S. to identify and take appropriate action to correct past misconduct by the federal government related to the weaponization of law enforcement and the weaponization of the intelligence community. What does that even mean? We don't even know. He doesn't know what he's been signing. I agree. I agree. He doesn't know. So that's the policy section 2. So how are we going to do it? Section 3, ending the weaponization of the federal government, right? So the Attorney General, in consultation with the heads of all departments and agencies of the United States, shall take appropriate action to review the activities of all departments and agencies existing civil or criminal enforcement of justice, the Securities and Exchange Commission and the Federal Trade Commission over the last 4 years, and identify any instances where a department or agency's conduct appears to have been contrary to the purposes and policies of this order. So they're even using this order as basically a checklist for the AG's office. Like, you didn't do this, you didn't do this. So if this has no validity because the president's already violated it, then going forward and using this as a checklist, each of those checklists are going to not be legitimate either, right? Everyone follow me down that road? So this is really a tough spot, I think, in my humble opinion. Oh, that reminds me, we can't miss this. Hold on here. There's one piece, by the way, we're going back here to prosecuting burning the American flag. One piece that I wanted to share, and that is this section's talking about different things to do in order to combat this. And Part D says the Secretary of State, the Attorney General, and the Secretary of Homeland Security, acting within their respective authorities, shall deny, prohibit, terminate, or revoke visas, residence permits, naturalization proceedings, and other immigration benefits, or seek removal from the United States pursuant to federal law, including this law here. So this is saying if anyone here is an immigrant and they're burning the flag, then we're going to pull your visa. Why? Because this is not law that can be challenged criminally. They can't charge them criminally, but civilly, they've got this power to pull visas. And so he's saying, well, if they're out of line, then we need to pull visas and get them out of the country. Civil Rights Act of 1964, good question. It's a very good question. And at this point, I think JFK would be very disappointed. Perhaps. I don't know, but I would think so. Yes, discrimination, exactly. And that's one of the biggest lawsuits against the administration, and repeatedly done, is this use of federal funding in order to force compliance wherever they want compliance to be done, right? So like the thanks, Big Grandma. So like the universities, colleges, whatever, they're like, well, we're not going to give you money. Yeah, little Marco's favorite. True. Next, initial rescissions of harmful executive orders and actions. That's what I kind of wanted to focus on with these executive orders here. Hold on, everybody. I feel like we're flickering. Are we flickering? How's the flicker? Is it too much? There, what about this one? Is this one better? A, B. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is this better or... Okay, this is better. No, it's not. Hydrated. All right. No, can't see the flickering. Yes, a little better. Okay, is it better? Okay. I put it on the warm setting. What do we think? Oh, it's worse. No, Kimmy, no. Oh, it's blurry. All right, well, that's not what we want to do. Hold on here. Let me see. Okay, we got blue, we got warm, and then we got this one, which is regular. How's this one? All right, what about this one? Is this one okay? And if you don't see any flickering, then we're good. Okay, this one's all right. Oh my gosh, look at that. It's the French potato, everybody. Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to name that. Oh, it's worse. Oh, right. This one, Willie B, is this one the best? The warmer light seems better. Looks clear, better. I do. Yeah, I do, Kimmy. Yeah, I just got this. This is just a couple weeks ago. It's like a heat wave. Really? Feel like I'm at the eye doctor. All right, this one's the best, as people have said. So after I go through this executive order, then we'll come back. All right, we'll come back and reassess. Maybe that will be our fuzzard. That can be our fuzzard poll. Is this slide better or this one? Vote for your favorite. Do I have an overhead fan on? No, I do not. I do not. Would that interfere, right? Yes, Boxer Mom, I'm just kind of getting started here. All right, all right. Well, let's go forward. I'll check in on the light situation here after we get through this. Everything's blurry. Lex, I hear that. I hear that every minute of every day. Barrister, fake this document, don't believe her. She's a Trumper. Barrister, why do you say these horrible things about me? Barrister, you're cracking me up. Every time you crack me up when you come in here. All right, focus, focus. Here we go. Initial rescissions of harmful executive orders and actions. Now, there's been a lot of news recently about Orange saying, look, we're going to go in and remove all of the auto pen executive orders. All right, so this was January 20th. So right when he came into office, let's talk about the executive orders he's already pulled, because he's filed maybe 3 or 4 of these executive orders with lists like this. And so I keep thinking when he says that, like, how many really are left? Because they're not that many. Squirrel. Barrister Skelicos is in here too. Oh my gosh, everybody. That's a very, very special treat. Oh my goodness. All right, let's dive in. We up here, of course, have our purpose and policy. Again, this will be where he trashes the prior administration. I point that out because we don't have this level of angst in our other executive orders that are available here. Let me just see here. Let me give you an example, all right? So that you know I'm not just being a jerk. Right? So here's an example from Jimmy Carter. Yikes. This is a proclamation, so it's in the same vein here. And here's the proclamation. We are a nation of families. This country was settled and built by families of all kinds. A source of strength in our past, families are America's hope for the future. All families are important, but the extended family, the foster family, and the adoptive family play a special role by relieving the isolation of those who lack the comfort of a loving nuclear family. So that's like his first piece, right? And then down here is where, and he'll go through that again, but now, therefore, I, Jimmy Carter, President of the United States of America, in accordance with a joint resolution of Congress, do hereby proclaim the week of November 18th of 1979 as National Family Week and call upon all American people to observe this week with appropriate activities in their homes and communities. Now, I haven't double checked, but I believe this one has another executive order over the top. When Orange came into office, he set out, I think within the first week, all of the monthly celebrations to not have them anymore. All right. So that sucks. And I do want you to know I have pulled all of Biden's executive orders. There's not as many by any means, but you can kind of see. So let's just do a couple of the first lines here. The previous administration has embedded deeply unpopular, inflationary, illegal, and radical practice within every agency and office of the federal government. That's his opening sentence. 20,000. No migraine or eye strain. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I don't know. Should we do it at? Let's wait. Let's wait till we get 100,000. Should we do 100 or is 50,000 better? I'll leave that for my mods to work as agents here. Next, so that's not very polite. So now we're going to go into the executive orders that are being revoked here. So Section 2, revocation of orders and actions, again done in January, one of many. The following executive actions are hereby revoked. Oh, the fresh potato. Maybe we'll call it, should we call it French fry, or is that not original enough? All right, here we go. Sorry, so many squirrels. Focus. Here we go. A, Executive Order 13985 of January 20th of 2021 advances racial equity and support for underserved communities through the federal government. Executive Order, right. So racial equity and support for underserved communities, gone. B, Executive Order 13986 of January 20th, 2021, ensuring a lawful and accurate enumeration and apportionment pursuant to the decennial census. Again, gone. So 13987, organizing and mobilizing the United States government to provide a unified and effective response to combat C-19 and to provide U.S. leadership on global health and security. And, I would say, I think we're out of the World Health Organization, right? I think he pulled us out of that already. Right. So Executive Order 13988 here. Palm frites. Oh, hey, that's fun. I like it. Oh my gosh, that's a fun word. Okay, preventing and combating discrimination on the basis of gender identity or sexual orientation. So as a quick side note, these again are not law, but as executive orders, any executive order can be revoked or added to by the current administration. So let's keep that in mind. And also that these are not law. These are policy pieces that go through the entire executive branch. Here's another one, 13989, ethics commitments by executive branch personnel. All right, so no ethics. 13990, protecting public health and the environment and restoring science to tackle the climate crisis. Gone. That's been revoked. Here, 13992, revocation of certain executive orders concerning federal regulation. So this one's kind of like still work in progress, right? In process. You know what I'm saying? We're still working on this one because he didn't specifically list out the orders that he wants. So that will come later. Yes, more people need to be of the not wonton. Here we are now, Executive Order 13993, revision of civil immigration enforcement policies and priorities. So the revisions made by Biden are gone. Executive Order 13995, ensuring an equitable pandemic response and recovery, gone. Executive Order 13996, establishing the C-19 Pandemic Testing Board and ensuring a sustainable public health workforce for C-19 and other biological threats, gone. Here's another one here. 13997, improving and expanding access to care and treatments for C-19, gone again. Out the door. All right, next up. Yikes. 13999, protecting worker health and safety. 14000, supporting the reopening and continuing operation of schools and early childhood education providers. Right, so supporting the reopening and continuing operation. Gone, funding's gone. Executive order here, economic relief related to C-19. Executive Order 14003, protecting the federal workforce, gone. And he needed to remove a lot of these in order to go forward with his master plan. That's why within the first couple of days of his administration, so many of these were pulled to like get out of the way so he could do what he wanted. Here. Next, 14004, enabling all qualified Americans to serve their country in uniform. Gone. And then, of course, we have our trans issues that were almost immediately filed. Executive Order 14006, reforming our incarceration system to eliminate the use of privately operated criminal detention facilities. We were talking about that quite a bit last week. And so that's over. Let's see. 14007, President's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology. So no more advisory councils. 14008, tackling the climate crisis at home and abroad. No climate here. Oh my gosh, tell me about it, Skelicos. I hear you. 14009, strengthening Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act. Gone. 14010, this is February, so we flipped into February now. Creating a comprehensive regional framework to address the causes of migration, to manage migration throughout North and Central America, and to provide safe and orderly processing of asylum seekers at the United States border. Yes, well, right. Now, once we get through this, right, once we get through this piece, then we can come back and, talk about ramifications and how to fix it when the orange is no longer here, right? So this is like our reconstruction sorting out. Next, here we go. I don't want to miss the, right. 14011, establishment of interagency task force on the reunification of families. Nope. 14012, restoring faith in our legal immigration systems and strengthening integration and inclusion efforts for new Americans. Gone. Executive Order 14013, rebuilding and enhancing programs to resettle refugees and planning for the impact of climate change on migration. Next, 14015, establishment of the White House Office of Faith-Based and Neighborhood Partnerships. So I thought he had faith-based stuff going on. So I feel like this one was pulled just because it was Biden, and then the orange fella put it back in with some different wording on it. Tom Cotton said there were 4 strikes on the boat. 4? Jesus Christos. All right, well, we'll need to be reading through that war manual at some point. Yikes. All right, here we go. Let me make sure. So new Americans here, enhancing programs to resettle, right? Establishment of the White House Office of Faith. That's what I was wondering. I think they've already got another Office of Faith or Faith Office. Revocation of certain presidential actions. So again, this would need to be listed out in another place. This is too vague as an executive order to actually implement. So you'd have to go back to that. Next, we've got 14019, March 7th, promoting access to voting, because we don't want that. So that one's out. I'm going to put a V next to this one to remind us that there are some. Oh no, is it blurry? Oh my goodness. Seriously, I'm wondering if it's following my pen. Right. Hold on. Cut out face of all the other. Oh, true. Oh, it's clear. Oh my gosh, Kimmy, you freaked me out. I was like, no, I worked so hard to make it not blurry. All right, all right. That's what happens when there's just too many things going on. Here we go. Executive Order 14020, establishment of White House Gender Policy Council. That's gone. 14021, March 8th, guaranteeing an educational environment free from discrimination on the basis of sex, including sexual orientation or gender identity. Right. An environment that's free of that is what is gone here. Has it hit yet? Is it blurry? Everybody, come on. Oh my goodness. What is happening? All right. Right. Is it the pen? Do you think it's the pen? Let's put the pen down. Let's see if it can just go through this and see if it will stop. All right, next. If only I had some fun nails that I could use. Any kind of diversity is out, exactly. Executive Order 14022, termination of emergency with respect to the International Criminal Court. Okay, Executive 140. Can we have a sticky note? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's do that. Maybe that will help too with the focus. It's an automatic focus situation. We get tangled up over on the tube sometimes with that. So these are revoked. Okay, revoked executive orders. Executive orders by Mr. Orange. All right. Don't want to forget the E. There we go. So, revoked executive orders by Mr. Orange. Does that clarify enough? Oh, I know. Right, right. Yeah, we've got some problems. All right, let's put this up here and see if it will calm down a little bit. You bet. You bet. Next, so there's that one, termination of emergency, right. All right, so 14023, establishment of the Presidential Commission on the Supreme Court of the United States. All right, Executive 14027, establishment of the Climate Change Support Office. So he's closing the offices here. Executive Order 14029, revocation of certain presidential actions and technical amendment. Again, this one's going to have to get fleshed out because that's too broad. Oh, yes, absolutely. Right. Work your holiday treats off by tapping. That's so funny. Oh my gosh, I have to start getting my holiday treats put together. You know what's not going to be on my treat list? That's right, pantless gingerbread men. We're not doing it. All right, Executive Order 14030, climate-related financial risk. We're now here into later times. All right, so that's something. That's at least something, right? No. All right. All right, Executive Order 14031, and this is advancing equity, justice, and opportunity for Asian Americans, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders. That's gone. Why would you go? All right, here we go. 14035, diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility in the federal workforce. So none of that is now set out in policy. Order 14037, strengthening American leadership in clean cars and trucks. So those are also gone. Yep, 1964. I know, it's a lot. It's a lot. Although the Civil Rights Act of 1964 is still in play. It's just different parts being pulled. All right, let me see here. I get lost when I have my hot cocoa here. Okay, clean cars. Next, 14044, amending Executive Order 14007. So that's, I don't have that one here, but that's what that's for. 14045, White House Initiative on Advancing Educational Equity, Excellence, and Economic Opportunity for Hispanics. Executive Order 14049, White House Initiative on Advancing Educational Equity, Excellence, and Economic Opportunity for Native Americans and Strengthening Tribal Colleges and Universities. That's one thing I haven't really spent too much time on because there's just so many things going on. But the effect that not just his executive orders, but other stuff that he's doing has had such a significant effect on our indigenous populations. So that's a real thing. The fact that we've got an executive order saying we're going to help because, we kind of created the mess. To see that's just another one. There are a lot of things that have been pulled from them. What does this mean if I have an EEOC discrimination case? Good question, and I'm not sure at this point. I'm not sure how that's going to go through the system. Yeah, I agree, DR3. You should, if you can I would recommend contacting a civil rights attorney, and that would in your area, and they may have a better idea. Because truly, I just don't know anymore. I mean, the EEOC has been pulled apart. The people in charge, the ones who have been there for years and years, have been fired here at that federal level. So I'm just not sure what's going to happen. All right, Executive Order 14050, White House Initiative on Advancing Educational Equity, Excellence, and Economic Opportunities for Black Americans, gone. 14052, implementation of the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, gone. Executive Order 14055, non-displacement of qualified workers under service contracts. Next, executive, OCD is hitting me hard. We didn't have that one in pink. That's wrong. We can't live that way. Next, Executive Order 14057, catalyzing clean energy industries and jobs through federal sustainability. 14060, establishing the United States Council on Transnational Organized Crime. Right, that's gone. Executive Order 14069, advancing economy efficiency and effectiveness in federal contracting by promoting pay equity and transparency. All right. Executive Order 14070, continuing to strengthen America's access to affordable quality health coverage. So that's not what we want. So with the Jobs Act, and I saw your question here, implementation of the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. So basically, Congress has written the Jobs Act. Implementation, though, how he wants to implement that through the federal executive office is what they're saying here. Like, we'll do what we want. We won't do what we're forced to do. So that's really what's coming into play there. Continuing to strengthen America's access to affordable quality health coverage. We wouldn't want that. 14074, advancing effective accountable policing and criminal justice practices to enhance public trust and public safety. This was a great order. This really was a great order. So I'm going to just circle that and be like, Executive Order 14075, advancing equality for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and inter-sex individuals here. We're advancing equality is the piece there, and that's, of course, all gone as well. Executive Order 14082, implementation of the energy and infrastructure provisions of the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022. And of course, the Inflation Reduction Act is in a tough spot because not all, but many of the pieces setting out funding to help have not been sent to where they were supposed to go. So the money was designated to different areas, but it's not been given out to all of the areas it was supposed to. So that's really crappy. 14084, promoting the arts and humanities and museum and library services. Nope, we don't have that. I don't think he's done actually a library executive order yet. I have a big board actually of my of the executive orders. I don't want to show you that one because that one you might think I've gone too far. All right, 14087, lowering prescription drug costs for Americans. Hello, we got rid of that almost immediately. Executive Order 14089, establishing the President's Advisory Council on African Diaspora Engagement in the United States. 14091, further advancing racial equity and support for underserved communities through the federal government. Next, this was a memorandum, not an executive order. It still has basically the same power as an executive order, but you got to make sure to catch the language properly because there's different filing requirements. Right. Oh, yeah. So here we go. Presidential memoranda. Here, withdrawal of certain areas off the United States Arctic coast of the outer continental shelf from oil and gas leasing. So you see why that would be a little bit different. Executive Order 14094, modernizing regulatory review. All right, and then I think, let's make sure. Yeah, this is the final page. This is our last page of executive orders for this particular order. Right. Let me make sure I'm in focus here, everyone. Are we good? We're good. Right. Oh my gosh, Johnny, of course. It's trying to help the oil companies. Yes, there's a lot of that. We need an elf on the continental shelf right about now. Skellico, seriously? Come on, people are scared of the elf. We don't have an elf because I'm like, I do enough. I'm cutting you off at the elf. And also because, they're teenagers. Not doing it. Pure democracy. It truly is. I absolutely love that musical. He is the elf. Well, fine. Here we go. Executive Order 1496. Revitalization, our nation's commitment to environmental justice for all. So no, we don't have that anymore. 14099, moving beyond a C19 vaccination requirements for federal workers. 14110, safe, secure, and trustworthy development and use of artificial intelligence. So this is AI stuff. Here, Executive Order 14115, imposing certain sanctions on persons undermining peace, security, and stability in the West Bank. This is going to get messy here. All right, so this is major, but he's going to have to be more specific, and I think he may have been. There are several of his executive orders that do include kind of that area that's going through it right now. You're going to play catch up. Well, right. You're not wrong. Here we are, 14124, White House initiative on advancing educational equity, excellence, and economic opportunity through Hispanic serving institutions. Executive Order 14134, providing an order of succession within the Department of Agriculture. So again, this is within the power of the president. They can set out what they want their order of succession to be. And Biden had set his out, and it's been revoked. Next, we have, again, providing an order of succession with the Department of Justice. This is another one where they're pulling away from it. Homeland Security structures being done. Here, Department of the Treasury, Department of Office of Management and Budget, Office of National Cyber Director, Council on Environmental Quality to Act. Now, this is, again, our memorandum. You can see that in a lot of our environmental memorandums and the actions done with the environment. Presidential memorandum here, designation of officials of the Council on Environmental Quality to act as chairman. So who's going to be there has been pulled. The presidential memorandum, a designation of officials in the Office of Personnel Management to act as director. Next, a memorandum here, designation of officials in the Office of Science and Technology Policy to act as director. Presidential memorandum, designation of officials of the United States Agency for Global Media to act as chief executive officer. And our global media has absolutely taken a huge hit. Anything that you think is good to help the world or to help people who are being oppressed in this country, if it's in an executive order, it's gone. It's gone. The only protections now that we have are truly those of the federal statutes that have been set out, which is actually the law, right? Hard to listen to. Oh, I know, Defiant. I know. Keep fighting. Oh, thanks, Shock. And I will. I know it's difficult, but it has to be done. That's the only way you can figure out how to combat it, is to figure out what exactly they're doing. And then you find your loopholes, your weakest links, or just a regular moment to just charge forward. So it's very important. The 5 call-outs. Oh, yeah. We've had on this live, people have been doing that for a year now. So very important. All right, memorandum designation here, U.S. Agency for International Development. Another memorandum, designation of officials for the International Development of Finance Corporation. Next, withdrawal of certain areas of the United States outer continental shelf with no ELF on it from oil or natural gas leasing. So you've got another oil and gas situation on the continental shelf. Hello, Blue Age. Welcome. The Presidential Memorandum of Jan 6, withdrawal of certain areas of the United States from oil and gas. There's another one. Is this the same one? Do we do 2? Because I wouldn't doubt him doing 2 because, whatever. I think this is a double, but I'll have to go in and look at the memorandums themselves. Hi, girl in her brushes. Always good to see you. The presidential memorandum here, certification or rescission of Cuba's designation as a state sponsor of terrorism. What? Certification of rescission of Cuba's designation. All right, so that's been pulled. Also, revocation of national security, presidential memorandum number 5. National security. Yikes. That's worrisome. The memorandum here, revocation of national security. Again, so we've got 2. I think we've got 2 here. I don't think it's accidental. I think we've got 2 separate things going on, but I'd have to pull the actual language again. Executive Order 14143, last one, everyone, providing for the appointment of alumni of AmeriCorps to competitive service. So there you have it, everyone. This is the first executive order by the Orange setting out revocations of Biden's executive orders. So this executive order that I'm reading right now is 14148, and again, January 20th. So first day. Right, exactly. It's evil part 1, evil part 2. Oh my goodness. You're not wrong. But everybody, now that we know which ones he's already pulled, I don't know. Does it make you feel a little bit better about this idea that he's going to go after the auto pen? Right? I think that's the big thing to think about. It's like you don't have to go after the auto pen executive orders. You just can write down what you want and get rid of it. Right? Hello. I'm not sure feel better is the right word. Restoring freedom of speech, ending federal censorship. So we've got a lot more, but I have one more that I want to show you here. Guaranteeing the state's protection against invasion. This is one that's been used over and over and over again to allow for what's been going on with the emergencies that have been declared, that Congress can undeclare if they would do their job. And along with our National Guard and various other things. He's showing here, these are the protections that you have, states. He doesn't care about the states. What he cares about is the power that he has been given. So this power as a fundamental act of sovereignty. So when so many things open up or unlocked because he was declaring emergencies, this is where he put it. He's like, I get to do this, I get to do that against the states. Now, and I've gone through this multiple times because it's not legal. But here we've got ultra-vires, and you've probably heard that quite a bit. Ultra-vires means that he is going well outside the bounds of his authority. Wow, I guess I was upset here. I usually don't swear at my annotations. But all right, this is the most important piece. All right, by the power vested in me, by the Constitution and the laws of the United States, I have determined that the current situation at the southern border qualifies as an invasion under Article 4, Section 4 of the Constitution of the United States. So if you're wondering, like, well, how did this even start? It's this sentence. The Orange himself says he's determined the current situation qualifies as an invasion. That's it. This is the only place where that language is done. There's no explanation of what an invasion is. There's no explanation of how the current situation would qualify as an invasion. This is all he wrote. This one sentence. This is what kicked off the cubes, all of the stuff of that nature, because he wrote this sentence. I've determined that the current situation at the southern border qualifies as an invasion under Article 4, Section 4 of the Constitution of the United States, which is not at all how that goes down. Right. So this is it. When you're thinking like, oh, I hear this all the time over on Manda's Live before I get flagged. Sorry. I hear this all the time. Like, well, the reason I voted for him was his immigration policy. Here's his immigration policy right here. Here it is. He's determined the current situation at the southern border qualifies as an invasion, which is illegal because immigration is not an invasion. Legal, lawful immigration, as well as illegal immigration, I guess if you want to call it that, is not an invasion. We've had cases over and over and over again say that, hashtag immigrants coming in one way or the other is not an invasion. But he declared it. He said it out with these words, and these are the words that are being contested in court most frequently. But I mean, seriously, right? Seriously, that's something that we have to think about quite a bit, is that he's not even doing anything. It's the people supporting him, and the rest of us are just filing cases saying, look, dude, that's not right. And that's what we're doing in court. If you're interested, there is a very good law review article that I have been going through, and it's very well written, in my humble opinion. And it's the California Western Law Review, and it's called Immigration is Not an Invasion: The Case Against Allowing State Actors to Implement Immigration Policies Under the Scope of the Invasion Clause. So this is, the French potato's back. Yay. Oh my gosh, look at the baguettes. I mean, right? We don't want to tell them it's going to be potato salad on those baguettes, right? Oh, that was so mean of me. That was really mean. Oh my gosh, the children of detainees, yes. Actually, we have a case right now going. Oh, what was it? Oh, what's the name? I've forgotten the name. Anyway, we do have actually two cases going on children. One is that was brought during Biden's administration. The children have always been an issue, right? So we've one case that's been going in the Biden era, and then we have, of course, another one going in the orange era, but not just that one. It's also, we have side trips as well going through that process. So there's a lot. It's like we're sweeping everything out from under the rug and showing that this is an ongoing issue, right? Thank you, VC LGML. Thank you, thank you. If you think of the names, tell me. Oh, I will, absolutely. I think it's like, I want to say it's like Sophia or something. It's this really pretty name. Anyway, I'll put it together and I'll probably just do a post because lots of people are interested in those. Yes, VC. There's others that are the kids' treatments. One of the biggest ones is that they're not allowing anyone to help them in court. So they have no guardian ad litem, they have no attorney supporting them. They're just kids and they go into court and, you know, this judge is like, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, we have no idea what you're saying or what you're doing. So that's a lot. So there's multiple pieces involving children, and each one of them is awful. Yes, I mean, come on. Anywho, oh my gosh, it's so sad. I'm pausing for a moment. It's just so sad. These are bad people are doing this. So feel free here to do a screenshot of this. It's, I think, very helpful. Now, just as a friendly reminder, when you're reading through law review articles, I've done several annotation posts on how to annotate a case, so how we're briefing the case. I still use that color scheme when I'm going through law review articles, and it's very helpful because only like a third or half of the page is actually the writing of the author. Down here, we have a ton of cases and citations. So almost every single line they have a receipt for. So sometimes that can trick people up where they're like reading here and then reading here and they're like, wait, what just happened? So I would recommend, if you don't read a lot of law review articles, I do because I'm a dork. But if you don't, just read this top half first, right? Just read that first so you can understand what they're going after, and then go back through and pick out those footnotes, or just jump down to the footnote if you need it. But don't get tangled up in that. Who's on top of that? There's actually 2 organizations that are working that are literally in the courtroom with the children saying, we're not lawyers, judge. This child needs lawyers. So without a doubt, people are working. I can't remember the name. Of that, but let me make a note and I will put together a post. They're up on my closet docket, the cases, of course, as they should be, but I cannot remember who's brought them. So I'll just do a full post on children and immigration so we can cover all grounds here. And again, there at least one case still going from the Biden administration. So I don't think it's CASA. I don't think it's CASA, but then a part of me is like, well, there might have been a CASA one recently. I think the first couple of cases were not CASA, but after that, we do have some CASA in there. So I will just do a post going and showing you the sticky notes and case numbers so you can pull this up. But there are several going here. Right. Birthright citizenship case, yes, VC, true. But also we have CASA is being pulled in a lot of different directions. And so I think we do have a CASA one involving kids. I'm just not sure exactly what it is. Because we have cases where they're saying you cannot come to the schools and take the children, right? We're saying you can't do that. There's another one saying you can't come into a house of worship and pull the children as well. So there's so many. I just cannot remember off the top of my head. Oh, there's a huge CASA worker shortage. Yep. You got it though, VC. You got it. There's a shortage, and it's heartbreaking because we had a shortage before all of this, and now, oh, absolutely, VC. That'd be great. It is. Can you go over the impeachment of the Supreme Court justices for ruling against the people? We don't have an impeachment of a Supreme Court justice. We have several federal judges that have been impeached for things like bribery or showing up drunk every day or trying to unalive people. We have had some in the past, but never on the Supreme Court. We got close once, but no. Really, oh my gosh, the CASA. It is so amazing what some of these organizations like CASA can do to help. And they do it on a shoestring. They do it on, I can't afford sticky notes type situation. And they go into terrible, horrible situations and try to help children and families. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing what they do. So this particular situation with the children, of course, the nonprofits have come out. But this, again, I cannot, there's the French potato again. Oh my goodness, the French potato. I love it so much. But again, I would remind you, this is an ongoing. Yes, kids in need of defense. Yes, exactly. Committed perjury regarding Roe. Well, I'm not sure. That's kind of a gray area with that. Young Center for Immigrant and Refugee Children's Rights. Yes. Right. So there are groups out there. And I think that's the only way I can get to sleep at night is to know there are groups, plenty of groups out there for that. But I will put a post together here and give you the names and such of that. Fresh potato Bel Air. No. Now that song's going to be in my head. Rocky Mountain Immigration Advocacy. Well, that's fantastic. I don't think I've seen that one. And we also have a case involving Indigenous children. So we're dealing with some questions about ICWA. And that was really tough because we had a case in front of ICWA, in front of the Supreme Court about ICWA and changing that. And a lot of stuff, we were all holding our breath. All of the Indigenous attorneys were like, hold your breath, everybody. We're not sure what's going to happen. Luckily, we made it through without too much damage. But we mustn't ever forget about our Indigenous communities that are around us because they're taking some significant hits as well. So, right. Yeah, of course, Lex. So lastly here, so again, I was just wanting to show you why immigration is apparently an invasion because of this one sentence, right? And then here, I therefore direct that entry into the United States of such aliens be suspended until I issue a finding that the invasion at the southern border has ceased. That is totally out of control. To say, look, we're going to just keep going at the southern border until I personally have decided there's not an invasion. This is reprehensible for a couple of reasons. First, it's way outside the scope. But has anyone been watching him the last couple of weeks? Right? So right here, I therefore direct the entry into the United States of such aliens be suspended until I issue a finding that the invasion at the southern border has ceased. So he made it so that he's the only one, according to this language, that can end the invasion, which isn't true. Congress can. But do you think he knows what this means now? Right? As we've watched him the last couple of weeks, does he know what is going on? And is this kind of power appropriate for him? That's a really good question that I just said. So I pat myself on the back. Right, Congress can come in and, take care of business. One thing that we have to be careful about is with that little dude. Oh, the little dude with the corn, password with his son or whatever. It's like real creepy. The little dude in the House of Representatives. Too much grammar, I agree. Who's the little fella? The little one? Mike Johnson, right. Are you sure? Yeah, okay. Mike Johnson. So the little fella who is just ridiculous. I'm not sure he's human. He may be a robot. But anywho, he is trying to push legislation through in the House to codify what's in these executive orders. So you may see pieces of legislation coming through trying to make something like this actually legal, to put it into law. And that's one of the big things, one of the big reasons why I think he's popular with the orange, is because he's guaranteeing him, like, you just put in an executive order, I'll take it from there kind of situation. So it's been very off-putting, but he's not getting enough votes at this point. We got to just make sure we're careful. Careful about that. Someone called him a Keebler elf, and I can't unsee it now. Just Tracy, I think that's accurate. But for me, I always think of that, oh my gosh, that little, okay, he's another little fella in the Orange's first administration, and he was the AG, I think. He had, well, you know what I'm talking about, that little fella that was like the first one, and he stood up with some ethics after the first order, and then he got Jeff Sessions. Oh my gosh, 867-5309 hero. Thank you, Jeff Sessions. Thank you for that. Slowly but surely it's getting, I agree. We're definitely moving forward. Yes, Jeff Sessions. Oh my gosh, Sean Spicer. I don't know. The other thing interesting about Sean Spicer, in my humble opinion, was his ability to chew gum. That was it. Yeah, they're all weird, right? My whole family, though, I'm like, I think we're on the island of misfit toys. So, like, I understand that. But it's one thing to be a misfit toy. It's another thing to be like a raging, doofus head going out and trying to unalive people. Is human. Right, I'm not sure he's human either. Right. He was firing people left and right. I know. I made bingo cards for his cabinet because I'm like, ooh, how many changes are there going to be before Christmas? And here we are. I'm like, dude, at least do the FBI fella who's like using the FBI stuff for dates and stuff. So I'm like, what? Oh, Melissa McCarthy. Oh my gosh, we needed those laughs so bad, didn't we? We needed it. Oh, yes, here I can show you. Again, I'm a bit disappointed, but at some point they're going to be pulled. So once they're pulled, I'm like, I'm ready. But until then, I'm just storing these. Oh my goodness gracious. So there's 15 positions in the cabinet right now. Honestly, I believe I read somewhere that the president can actually choose if they want the same people as the prior president, so the same cabinet names and agencies, or if they want a new one. So, it is up to them. So here we go. Oh my goodness gracious. So here we go. We've got the names in here. Department of Labor, State Transportation, Treasury, Veterans Affairs here. And then, oops, not that one. And then over here, we've got Agriculture, Commerce. This one, boy, this fella, I don't know about that guy. The Education, so that's the wrestling lady here. And then we've got the Homeland Security. That's the puppy hater. And then the back page, Energy, Health and Human Services here. This is, let's see, Department of Housing, Urban Development. Did I miss this one? I'll have to do research. For some reason, I don't have that one put in here. Right. All right, Department of Interior is here. Department of Justice with Bondi. So, right. Yes, I do. I do use all the gift money for card stock and printing and glue sticks, apparently. That's another thing. Really? Oh my gosh, of course. So again, though, I thought we would have more changing here, and we haven't. But I feel like, we're going to start seeing at the beginning of next year a lot of this. A lot of this going, but we're ready. We're ready for it. Like, bring it on. Who's getting taken down? I don't have the director of the FBI on here, though, so he'll have to be like the free space. FBI director will be the free space. Oh, my goodness. All right, so those are my bingo cards. Everyone, we shall await the time. And let's bring it home. Here's the last page where it sets out again the general provisions that nothing can override law. Very much. All right, and that was Executive Order 1414-9, if you're wanting to go through that with a little bit more detail. Yes, thank you, VC. Paper, ink, exactly. I tell you what, the ink, my peoples, the toner, like that has got some tariff issues going on. Like, can't we just make it like the pioneers? And the answer to that is no. You have to purchase. So I'm very thankful for all of the support. I appreciate it so much. Truly, truly. With that, oh, thank you so much. With that, though, I will go ahead and sign off for now. I may be back later tonight. I'm unsure. It'll just pull a Costco. We don't have a Costco. We don't. I think the closest Costco is like an hour away. So, yeah, I know. No worries, Steph, no worries. So again, these were the executive orders, going through and take a look at the different ones, the revocations. So we've got plenty more that are revocations that he's done, because of course, this is ridiculous, the sheer quantity of executive orders here. So I will come back again doing some of these, but I also have the other thing that we started yesterday that I would like to finish are the J6 people who were arrested and given a sentence. If they were not, if they were mixed up or it wasn't a proper whatever, so of course they're not included in that, but we'll spend some time talking about that too. So take care, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you all again very soon. I'm not sure if I'm going to be on Manda's live tonight. I would love to, but I'm worried that I'll get a strike. I'm just worried. So I'll have to be super careful. Have a good one, everyone. Thanks.